Do you like my new shirt? It's a bit risque, I think. It's not really what I'd usually wear. It's kind of crazy. What is going on with you? That sounded aggressive, sorry. Haven't done a sit down video in like 2-3 weeks now, so this is a bit weird. First times. When was your first public speaking success? That question is assuming I've had a public speaking success. I've performed gigs where I've sang, and is it sung or sang? I haven't really done much public speaking. Rightfully so, because I think I'd be terrible at it. When was the first time you got stitches? I have never, ever had any stitches. I've never broken a bone. Yeah, I've been lucky, been very lucky. When was the first time you stayed up all night and watched the sunrise? I've never stayed up all night and watched the sunrise. Or have I? I don't think I ever stayed up all night. You know I have. God, I have no idea. Probably at uni. Never intentionally done that. Not so I could watch the sunrise, it was always because I was out pissed as a fart. Yeah, I'd actually like to stay up all night and watch the sunrise with somebody special. How romantic. Ugh. What was the first thing you learned to cook? I learned to cook an egg. I could make that when I was like 8. I also taught myself how to make Scotch pancakes, which are kind of like tiny American pancakes, I guess, because I was so obsessed with Matilda when I was a kid. And there's a scene where she's really young and she makes these pancakes, and I was like, oh my god, this is like the most tasty looking scene. What was your first paying job? My first paying job was Tesco, I believe. I was on the tills at Tesco and it was fucking horrible. When was the first time you flew on an airplane? I don't know, like maybe 3 or 4. What was the first concert you went to see? I went to see the Sugababes. It was an outdoor concert, and the Sugababes were actually fantastic. And I went with my boyfriend at the time. I was 13. They could really sing. It was the Sugababes lineup of Heidi, Mutia and Keisha. Segue into a little Sugababe story. I had a horrifically, mortifyingly embarrassing experience with them. I was like 14 years old and my brother won a competition to chat, like video chat on the internet with the Sugababes. And he gave it to me, which was really sweet because, you know, I really liked them. And it was just horrific. They were so awkward and I was so awkward, obviously. Like 14-year-old me, like I'm awkward now, I mean Jesus Christ. They obviously didn't want to be there. It was just awful, and I had like a list of questions to ask them, and I asked the questions and then I was just like, I didn't have anything else to offer. Yeah, I like finished the questions, they gave like minimalistic answers, I think, because I had half an hour with them, which is a long time. It's like longer than most interviewers get with people, I think. I'm not sure, but I think it is. Like at press junkets and stuff, like people don't get half an hour. I was 14 years old and I'm like, oh my god. I mean, it should have gone to some aspiring journalist or something. Once my questions were up, it was just like silence. Like they could have made it, like they were the adults in this situation. They could have like asked me about my life or something, or just to like avoid the awkwardness. When I think about it, I still cringe. And it was like years and years ago now. Anyway, what was your first bike like? I loved my first bike so much. It was a little, tiny little red thing. I was like 4 or something and I saved up my money for this little red bike. It was such a joy to buy it and see it there and know that I was going to learn to ride this thing. It didn't have like freewheeling, so as you went down a hill you couldn't, like the pedals would go like round and round and round instead of just staying. I used to go on pretty challenging bike rides with my family, and like we just like zoom down a hill and the pedals would just go like this. But I loved that bike so much. I think because I saved up for it, I felt like I'd earned it. When was the first time you moved house? I guess it was when I was a baby, like 1 year old. Obviously I don't remember that. And then I didn't move again until I was 19, and that's when I moved to university. When was the first time you threw a punch? I probably when I was a kid and punched my brother, I'm sorry. When was the first time you quit a job? That would have been the Tesco job when I was 17, 18. When was the first time you realised you're good at your job? Oh well, thank you. Currently I'm an editor at a documentary company. I think last year when an executive told me that I had really good instincts and I have a lot of potential, that's when I felt good. And also when I got some freelance work and I thought, well, I must be doing something right, otherwise I wouldn't be getting hired to do freelance work. So yeah, but you know, don't walk around thinking, oh, I'm great at my job. It's a fluctuating thing as with everything in life, and some days I feel like I'm awful at my job and other days I feel like, oh, I did quite well. So as I'm sure it is like that for everybody. It's nice to get some compliments sometimes. What was your first regrettable hairstyle? When I was 9, I got my hair cut really short. It was awful. I thought it was going to be really cool. I thought it was going to be so cool and I was so excited, and I just hated it so much. It was just so shapeless. I don't think I got I'm not even gonna go there. It was just terrible. I also then got my hair cut again when I was 18. It was horrendous. Like looking back, I'm like, oh my god. Like some people said they liked it and I think they were telling the truth, but oh Christ, no. When was the first time you skipped class? I don't think I ever was at school and then decided to miss a class. It just wasn't something that we did. Like me and my friends didn't do that. I missed lots of days of school though. So that was skipping school, I suppose, but I was quite ill. So that's a whole other story. When was the first time you went fishing? These are very specific questions. When I was like a really young child, I don't know what age, but I suppose me and my whole family went fishing off a boat, and I remember we caught this fish, and I'll never forget the fish because I felt so bad for it because it got the hook really stuck in it and we had to kill it and take the hook. Oh, it was just ugh. How old were you when you got your first computer? We got our first computer when I was 6, I think. I don't know, it was Windows 98 I think we got, and it had this game Echo the Dolphin on it, and me and my brother were like obsessed with it, and we were just so happy to get a computer, and we had dial-up internet on it, and I'll never forget the sound it made. And my mum was always like, don't be on the internet for too long, because what if Granny calls, because you couldn't use this phone at the same time as the internet, the house phone, because everybody rang each other on house phones back then. Like so much has changed in the last 20 years, so much. Those were some questions that I answered. Hope you liked it. I made a tea and I haven't drunk one sip. This is my new llama mug. Oh god, I'm just obsessed with llamas. Hope you're having a really good week. Cheers to you and yours.